Hello and welcome to Burning Questions, August 4. It's a big Friday night at Geelong tonight, but we're going to tackle the action at Melton on Saturday night. An all-star cast. I spoke to a few people yesterday and said who I had on, and they were nodding their heads in agreement that this is an all-star cast, probably the best I've produced over the last month or so. We might go to our first guest. It's Greg Sugars. He's down the bottom of my screen. Greg, welcome to Burning Questions. It's been a little while between drinks for you.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, no, I've been avoiding it like the plague, and I've been away for a while. And anyway, good to be back aboard.
I messaged you, and it took about 8 hours for a reply, so I was worried, but we got there. So I appreciate you jumping on. James Herbertson is our other guest, our second guest, and my guess was that Herbie, you're in the paddock somewhere up the back at Lexington getting reception, and the first thing I saw was a flock of sheep, which brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, no, they're here. They're waiting for you still, mate. They're few dirty rear ends that need your attention, I think. Yeah,
every time I run into your old man at the races, he's quick to tell me that there's a bit of work there for me. We'll leave that to the experts. And our third and final guest / co-host is Andy Gath. Andy, great to have you on the show, mate. And it's a big night for you tonight. You've probably never been this nervous about a trial before.
No, it's okay. Looking forward to it, and hopefully the weather looks like it's fine up a bit, so hopefully get a pretty good crowd at Geelong. And it's great to be on today with such elite guests in Greg and James.
And obviously I'm not a guest, so you're talking about a host. Okay, no worries. Yeah, appreciate that. Before we go to the burning questions, I might just get a quick word on Catch a Wave, Andy, ahead of tonight. We'll get this up before the trial, of course, tonight. How's he going? Has Yambuckian been giving him a bit of stick at home about that defeat? And what are you expecting tonight?
Yeah, obviously he'll go there for a solid hit out. He'll work behind Mac Dan. We'll actually have to see what the weather's like and depending how quick we go. But he'll have a solid hit out. He's in pretty good order. Kate and I have got over emotionally getting beat by Herbie with Yambuckian, so it took a while. So, no, he's in pretty good nick and looking forward to the Eureka in a month's time.
I've never seen you so upset about a win, Herbie. You didn't know what to do, did you?
No, mate. I went down to the barn. It was very quiet, and yeah, it wasn't great.
I ran into someone at the bar before the race who insisted that Yambuckian could win, and I talked him out of it, so I was laying low as well. I might get you to mute, Andy. Greg, just a quick word on Captain Ravishing. Of course, you gave him a hit out against one of David Miles's whipping boys there, or girls. He looked great. I know he didn't do a lot, but would have been great to get behind him. And what are you expecting tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's obviously a very exciting horse, and it's always good to sit behind those horses that are, got that raw, high speed, and he was an exciting horse to sit behind us. That even though we didn't break any records early, it was just a sort of a 200-meter dash sort of thing. But he gave me a very good feel, and you could tell just by looking at the horse and his mannerisms that he was sort of well in need of that sort of run. So. He's most likely going to be going around by himself tonight, but we'll do a little bit more with him and probably work over a bit further distance and get a few more miles into his legs. But he's still got, as Andy said, we're a month away from the race, so he's still got to have a couple of good hit outs over the next 2 weeks to get him where he needs to be for the big dance. Yeah,
super stuff. And if anyone's watching this and is in the Geelong area or feels like a drive, it's worth getting down. They're doing some great things, Danny and Joe. Zavatsanos tonight, Team Zav night. You can enter the draw, and one lucky person, if you're on track, will get drawn out as basically a part owner of Captain Ravishing, and you get flights, accommodation, car hire, and a slice of the prize money if you can win the Eureka. So a great prize. Looking forward to getting down there tonight. Let's get stuck into the burning questions. Falvo Fruits is our first sponsor. They grow top quality table grapes on the farms in Wemmen and Lipperoo, and working very closely together with Premier Farms Australia. These table grapes are delivered to customers all over the world. Remember, everybody, eating grapes is good for you. The first question, we'll start with you, Greg. Greg's lads are back at the track, but will they have the dash to win a hot free-for-all clash? I've outdone myself there with the wording there. But Greg, Better Eclipse and Triple Eight are back. Have they got what it takes to win one of those boys?
Yeah, look, I hope so. Mainly with Better Eclipse is probably our number one seed, quite obviously at this point in time. But he will be in need of the run. It's always hard to resume at the top level racing anywhere basically. But especially at Melton, when you've drawn outside the back row, it's never easy to win. So he's in very good order. We were quite happy with his trial the other week, where he ran a really good second in very fast time for trial conditions behind Bulletproof Boy, who came out and ran a super race at Ballarat last week in the fast class race there. So he's in very good order. But like I said, he's got his work cut out for him, having to circle the whole field. But I'm sure if he gets the right trip into the race, he's going to hit the line very strong. And the old boy 888, well, he's probably very much in need of another run or two at this level. So we're looking to drive him obviously very conservatively and probably up the inside. But if he settles and gets the right breaks, we know he can hit the line strong as well. So both horses will be driven in that manner. But hopefully they can both hit the line strong.
I think I saw James Herbertson down to drive 888 at one stage, and he deleted that one and went with Just a Little Sip. Herbie, talk us through your drive and what you expect. You've obviously got the barrier advantage, which is going to be handy over some of the big rivals off the back row.
Yeah, look, as long as Andrew's horse doesn't get a run, the barrier's perfect, really. If we do end up coming out too, it makes things a little bit more difficult. But all things going well. Sid was in that trial as well with Better Eclipse and 888 at Melton behind Bulletproof Boy. I sat on his back and dashed up the inside quite nice. Joe said he always finds a bit more with the pull downs on, so he'll have them on Saturday night. And it's a very strong field. It's a great race, and whatever he does this week, he'll be better going forward. But I think he's got a good shot from the draw.
Yeah, you think he's up to this sort of grade? You think he can win with the right run?
Well, the way he did it in the trial, as Greg said, it was a strong trial. I think they went 52 on a piece over the mile at Melton. He was strong to the line and still doing his best work late. So I couldn't ask much more from him there. But whatever he does, he'll be better again.
Andy, you've got Pull the Other Leg as the emergency draw on barrier 1, but the Giant Killer Yambuckian barrier 4. What's your thoughts? He'll press forward, and what do you think? I mean, obviously he can win, can't he?
You'd think so. It is a pretty strong field. It goes pretty deep, and there's a few horses first up, and they're drawing the back row. But like most people know, he has to find the fence to be a winning chance, and a good chance that may happen. So if he does happen to lead, you can sort of roll along at a pretty decent speed, and it'd be pretty tough to beat. So he's in good order. Like Herbie drove him last night, and he's done a good job to get up, and in fast sectionals, closing off pretty quick. So he's a winning hope. Obviously, Better Eclipse have plenty of time for. I thought he trialled well, and so did Just a Little Sip. Obviously, Herbie's got the advantage of the barrier draw. So there's probably 4 or 5 winning hopes. Maybe even 6 winning hopes. So it's going to be an interesting race, and it's good to see 3-4 field. There was a lot of depth, which we probably haven't had lately.
Yeah, it's a ripper. I agree. I can't wait for that one. First leg of the quaddie as well, so there'll be probably some people going wide in that one. The second of our sponsors is Sulky App, combining the power of results and horse sectionals. With Sulky App, you now have access to gate speed, swooper, ability and behaviour ratings. Never miss a trainer, driver or gear change again. Sulky App is a form guide revolution. Herbie, just a quick word on Sulky App. I think they sponsor you, don't they? It's a ripper service.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. The data's just getting better and better all the time. A lot of people use it for gate speed. It's probably not always 100%. If you follow your form, you'll see that. But I'd say 95% of the time it's spot on. So I use it as a second sort of tool, just to your normal following the form. But it's a great thing if you don't know something about, say, an interstater. It's just another tool you can use. But I'm fortunate enough to be sponsored by them. So I can't say much more about it really, but it's quite good. Yeah,
I use it a lot. It's really good. Gate speed for me is the big one. As you say, you look at your own, you do your own stuff, video replays, but it's just a second opinion. It's really good stuff. The second question: will the wide back row draw bring Emma's Star Mare undone, or will her celebrity status continue to rise? Race 7, we're talking about the Mayor's Sprint Championship final. I'll stay with you, Herbie. Star Celebrity, she's got a picket fence of 6 in a row. To me, I think she's the one to beat, but it's a good field with a couple of handy stablemates drawn better than her. How do you see race 7 on the card playing out?
Yeah, look, she's done a really good job to be able to continue that picket fence in the class that she's been racing in. She's, as you say, she's a class horse of the race, but I think that there could be an upset there. Back row out wide at Melton's no easy feat, and there's a lot of good mares off the front. Well, nice enough mares off the front row that are in good form. Might be able to give her a run for her money. So yeah, I wouldn't be putting her one out in your quaddy, that's for sure.
Okay. Greg, you've got Illawong Awesome for the Tyndale crew. What are your thoughts on this race? Star Celebrity going super. There's always been a big spruik on her, I think, right from day one. And she's always done a few things wrong, but she's definitely putting it together now.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt the ability's always been there, but she was a real rogue, I think, early days. And, that's why Alan McDonough's probably done a great job just partnering with her and teaching her to be a bit better racehorse with every start. So she's certainly a lot more tractable now in her races than what she was sort of 12 months or so ago. And I think, she's clearly the one to beat, even from the back row draw. I think the way the sort of cards have fallen, she's actually a good chance to get a good run through at the start and follow some speed. And she could be up outside the leaders or even in front, at a very early stage of the race. And if that's the case, I think it's just about to shut up shop. The way she's been racing of late. So, tactics early are going to be very interesting. But, I've sort of drawn wider than her off the front row, and I'll be certainly keeping an eye on her to see whether they attempt to sort of push through at the start and, how that affects our chances.
Andy, you haven't got a runner in this race, but Kate's driving Nikki Nana from the inside. How do you see it? Star Celebrity, the one to beat, or is she a little bit vulnerable given the draw and the sprint trip journey?
A little bit with Greg. I think even though she's drawn poorly, I think she's definitely the best horse in the race, and she's going extra well. She defied a Mark betting drift last start. I think she was about $1.60 up to $3.20 and still able to get the job done. So I think there's a couple of horses off the front row that sort of a little bit unknown, probably a little bit out of form as well. So I think as soon as they settle, I think Al will be around on her, and I think whether she finds the front or sits outside them. She's got terrific short course form. I just think she'll be too good for him.
Yeah, I'm in that camp as well. Third of the burning questions, and the third of the sponsors is Pride's Easy Feed. Pride's Easy Feed stand as a proud supporter of the harness racing industry with their set recipes and quality ingredients to give the trainer confidence in what they're feeding. So make the switch to Pride's and start getting the results you've been chasing. Herb's ignored family ties, so can he win with the speedy shoes? I talk about race 8 on the card. Your old man has got steel screens in her, but you've decided to drive diamond shoes for Keith Cochin. How did that go down, first of all?
It wasn't too bad. Had to get the all clear from Gable House to start with. That's mum. So, she said no, stick with shoes. She's going really well, which she is. She's the sort of horse. She's only got a short amount of time left before she's off to the breeding barn. So. And it's sort of unfortunate as well because she's really peaking at the moment, and her runs have been very honest and very solid. So I was really impressed with her run last start. On face value, it might not have looked that great, but to me it was the best that she'd let down this time in. So she's got a fairly nice draw there. What happens early? Not too sure just yet. I don't really like sort her off the arm too much. She can get a bit keen, and when she gets a bit keen, she doesn't go as well. So, just have to see what happens early. But I couldn't be more happy with her last start, and I think she's in there with a really good shot.
Yeah, I could have worded this question about you too, Greg. You've ignored family ties as well. Looking at it a bit closer now, you're driving Monomia for Kari Males, and Jess has also got Ever Hoping in the race. Ryan Sanderson takes the drive there. What are your thoughts on this race on Saturday night?
Yeah, look, I would have loved to have been driving Ever Hoping in this race, but unfortunately they won't give me my junior driver claim back. I'm not sure why.
I'll have a word on for you if you like.
That'd be good, thanks. But no, I think he's a really good chance. Ever Hoping, we have a good opinion of him, and and he sort of was well and truly in need of that run first up last week in the fast class, and it's a massive drop back in grade for him, going from basically even though it wasn't the strongest race, it was basically an open class race at Ballarat last week. and they ran very good time, and he hit the line quite well, and he drops back to, you know, a 70 to 79 rater. So it's a huge drop back for him. But as we've touched on earlier with the other races, it's hard to win at Melton from the back row draw out wide. But he's the type of horse that can be put into the race, and he's quite strong when he's on song, and he's trained on really well since. So, I give Ryan a really good winning chance with Ever Hoping, and obviously where I've drawn with my drive in Monomia, I'll be right there with him. So I'll be following him wherever he goes, and if Ryan's close to getting the money with Ever Hoping, then I won't be too far away with Monomia as well.
Did I hear you say one day that Ever Hoping works with 888 or Better Eclipse or someone, or it works up as good as those two at home?
AG's White Sox. It was his sort of sparring partner last prep when we had him, and it was working quite as good as him, and AG was going pretty good at the time at the races as well. So track work doesn't always replicate itself at races, as we know, with certain horses, but what this horse did in the pretty short preparation with us last time around, we thought was quite good, and hopefully he'll go on with the job this time around.
Good stuff, Andy. Celestia Matuka's the emergency here. I haven't looked if he's got a run or not, but is he any hope of spoiling the apple cart if he gets a start?
Well, he's second favourite in the market at the moment, so either someone's had a big go or the handicapper's got it wrong by leaving him out. So we'll sort of see what happens. But that's a pretty even race. Herbie's mare's absolutely flying diamond shoes, but she does need a little bit of luck and a little bit of tempo on. But she's hitting the line really good the last few, so she'd be nice that she can win one before she goes to start. And as Greg said, Ever Hoping, it's a huge drop down in class for what he has been racing, and his best form's probably better than most of these. But back row draw, it's always difficult. So again, pretty another even race and fair few winning hopes.
Yeah. The fourth and final burning question. Love Gun was back with a bang at Ballarat, but can he produce the goods a second week in a row? Greg, race 3 on the card. It's got the longest race name I've ever seen, I reckon. I won't even try to read all that out, but it's the Winter Trotters Cup. Barrier 3 for Love Gun. He was a bit naughty at the trials heading into his first up run, but he won with authority the other night at Ballarat. He was he just couldn't help but be impressed. What's your confidence levels he'll do everything right and be able to win again? Yeah,
look, we're quite happy with the horse. As I said in the interview with you last week, that I thought he was going to be slightly vulnerable first up. He was dealing with a bit of a foot complaint. Hence, that's the reason why he made that mistake in the trial. And we sort of had to scratch him the week later because we weren't quite on top of it. But, so he was probably slightly underdone. He seems to have trained on quite well. We're just hoping that hasn't taken any ill effect from that, and he doesn't seem to. The way he's felt this week and the way he's worked, it is a step up in grade. I'm sure of that. So it'll be a little bit tougher for him. But if he has improved a length or so from his first up run, I'm sure he's going to run another great race for us.
Yeah, Herbie, you haven't got a drive in this race, but it is a good one. Love Gun. Baltica, Aroa Coe, Central Otago among the chances. If I was to give you $100, what would you be doing with it? Apart from putting it in your back pocket.
That would probably be the first option. But no, I thought it was quite an arrogant win by Greg's horse last start. And speaking to Greg after the race, he explained the problem that he had with his foot. So to come out and win like that, the way he did, was very impressive. So you really have to respect him in that race. Aroa Coe from the draw makes it a bit harder for it. Chris Sinozio's team's airborne at the moment, as everyone well and truly knows. They're very hard to beat, especially when they're in front. But whether he finds a front from out there, I wouldn't say so. But Greg's horse, if he can improve again off last week, well, you really have to respect him.
Yeah. Andy, Central Otago, the sole runner off the back row. How good prep this horse? Second in the first up run, and then was able to win in good style last time. How confident are you?
Yeah, it's always tricky from the back row draw. He's a full brother to Aroa Coe, and as we know, the older brothers generally get the victory over the younger brothers. So history suggests that he's going to beat it home, but whether he can beat the rest home, time will tell. But I was really impressed with Love Gun. I thought it was terrific at Ballarat. As Herbie said, it did win with a bit of arrogance. He does have a few little quirks, and he seems to save him for Melton for some reason. I don't know why, but Greg might know why. But yeah, no, it's a pretty even race, and it's going to be a pretty good final with all the top chances sort of get through to the final. So again, Central Otago, the family's always sort of got better with age, and he sort of stepped up again this campaign. So I think he's a good each way hope. Just not sure where he's going to be in the run. So, but I think Greg's the one to beat with Love Gun.
Okay, fantastic. That pushes on to best bets, fellas. We might we'll leave Andy to last. I might start with you, Herbie. I trust you'll be probably looking to one of your drives as the best bet. What is it?
No, I'm going to go race 1. Where's Seggy? He's dropping back from sort of open class racing back to I think it's 70 to 79 or 80 to 89 sort of race, but dropping back in class a long way in terms of the horse that he's been racing. And he had no luck last start, getting parked out over the long at Melton. I'm pretty sure it was, and he was very honest and stuck on well. Might have even been Kilmore. So wherever that run was, I was quite impressed by it, and dropping back to that sort of class, I think he's in with a really good each way hope.
Okay, just putting the pressure on Adrian.
Definitely.
Andy, what do you like?
I'm going to go head-to-head with Herbie, and I'm going to go with He's Ollie in the first, hoping he can find the pegs. I thought it was pretty brave at Ballarat, sitting outside him. And, so He's Ollie for me.
Are you concerned at all that I'm tipping that horse as well? Not in this show, but elsewhere?
I wasn't aware of that, but I'll stick fat with you. I wanted to jump off Melanian after you tipped it, so I managed to get the job done. So you must be in rare form, Top.
Yeah, and I just listened back to the off the bench boys. Liam Pickering followed me in there too, so I'm just putting you up in lights, Andy, as per usual. I'm going to go race 7, number 11, Star Celebrity. It's around about even money. I'm not too brave here, but it just looks a winner for me. I just think it'll be winning. Too good.